Hey, ain't we been through it all? Then we sleep on them floors. Everybody we thought we needed, we don't need them no more. Run it up, don't check the score. No, I'm balling on.
Okay, boys, this is a video y'all should be seeing late Thursday night. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the recruit bundle video. This is a two-part video. Well, it's going to be two things I'm going to talk about, not two parts. In the comments, you guys have asked to showcase a sniping filter and how to snipe. I'm going to talk about that. You can see my coins. I'm up to 2.7. I'm not done selling stuff. Last week when I started doing my investments, I was at 1.2. So I'm plus 1.5. Plus I have probably another to get me above 5 million coins in the binder. So we're going to talk about my investments for the last week, what I did right, what I did wrong, how we hit there. And then I'm also going to talk about sniping, right? And I'm going to talk about when you're going on the auction house, what you're doing, because there's two different types of snipes and there's two different types of investing too, which we're going to talk about. There's quick flips and then there's long flips, right? So hit the like button, drop a sub. Hopefully this video is well received and everything. So first things first, let's start the video off with the recruit bundle, right? I already did my recruit bundle a day technically, but look, it was so good earlier. I want to try it again, right? I want to try it again. That gets us below 2.7, but nevertheless, we've made a lot of coins. And by the way, we've opened up packs. We've done a lot of stuff in this pack. It's not like I've just stayed on my coins and I haven't done anything. We've done a video for every Legends. We did it for Stories of the Week. We did it for Game Changers. So I've opened up packs and my coins are still up. Like I said, I'm going to talk about it. First things first, we're going to talk about my investments. Hopefully the auction house shows the investments or whatnot, so that way you guys can really see and get a very tangible experience of what the investments look like. So I'm just going to go through these. We're not going to open up any other packs in this video, so I thought I might as well give y'all some of these packs. Obviously, if we get a blue, that's nothing. We're looking for big animations. A purple, obviously not an old school purple, but a new school purple at the end of the day. But like I said, that's a purple. 88. That's like 6K. 6K. We'll definitely take that without a shot of a doubt. So that's almost half of our coins made back. We've gotten a fair few blues. Now as well, I've asked you guys on Twitter, should I open up the level 50 pack? I seen the reviews for the national championship. I don't like any of them, so therefore I'm going to open it tonight my time, and then you guys will see that first thing in the morning before the national championship gets revealed and things of that nature. Could be an L, probably should hold, but none of the cards they preview really, you know what I mean, got me excited. So there's a bunch of cards in packs right now that I'm excited for. So we're definitely going to try to pull some of those, because there are some great cards when we're talking about Stories of the Week and also the Game Changer promo. Alrighty, boys, 2.7 million. How did I do it in over a week? Let's see if all my newest will show up. It's not going to show it, which is unfortunate. It is not going to show it. Maybe if I go to my auction house, it'll show some of my newer stuff. But if not, I can just talk about, you can see I still have a bunch of stuff that I'm selling or whatnot. You can see my Greg pins, 40K, 40K, 40K. Dexter Lawrence's I got last week for 77K, 100K, 100K. You see how it's adding up, right? That's about 13K per. My Catalans that I got for what, 200K, I sold one for 300K, and then I sold two for 315. That's about 100K per. You can see my Greg pins, 39K, which if you look at last week's video, it'll probably be at the end of this video as well. We got these at 30K. Kindle cars, we got at 30K last week. We sold for 49K, so that was about 14 to 15K per in Kindle cars. The only one, even a Miles Hall, we got for 121. We sold for 145. That was a big W. And yeah, now remember when I was talking at the beginning about investments, there's quick flips and then there's long flips, right? You see these Greg pins, my Sage runs that I'm waiting to sell that I got for 120. These are what you consider long flips. Something's going to take 3 to 4 days that you wait and you have to sell, right? But then you have your quick flips. You see this Ronnie Stanley for 109. You see this Shane Mondon for 134. You see this Sage Ron for 150 and this Kindle car for 64K. I'm going to show you my recent auctions, which you guys probably seen it. It's not going to show. There it is. Shane Mondon got for 78K. Quick flipped it. I could have waited, but I was like, I'm just going to take my 130 for him, and after tax made 50K. Didn't do it with Jonathan Baldwin. You see my Kyle Van Noy, I got for 70K. I know it's going to sell for 100. That's going to be 13K. You have my Kindle car. I seen that Kindle car got up to 60K. I seen one for 45K. I grabbed it, sold it for 64K. Boom, made 13K there. Sage Ron, I got for 120 when they were only listed up at 150. Got it there, sold it for 150. made my, what, 14K there. And then Ronnie Stanley, I seen him at 81K, sold him for 109. After taxes, like 98K. We made about 17K. Get it? Got it? Good. So sometimes you always don't have to wait 2, 3, 4 days. It's important to know these prices and go on mud.gg or CFB fan, I'm thinking mad mud.gg, and learn these prices. If something you see on the auction house when you're looking at 94s, 93s, and it's too good to be true, generally it is. And generally you can obviously snipe it and then you can flip it for what we call a quick flip. Alrighty boys. So we talked about that quick flip. It's pretty simple once you learn it right. Cards, you know, you're going to invest in, obviously you're going to wait to 3 to 4 days until the supply runs out, right? Because that's what you're waiting on. And then cards that already have the low supply, but then you get one at a price that's too good to be true and you just quick flip it real quick. Now, when it comes to sniping, you got to be very, very diligent. And what I mean by that, let's say hypothetically we're sniping 92s. A lot of people will go to 92s and just go here, right? Or let's say you sniping hypothetically college football playoffs players, right? You go to 92s and then you go to college football playoff players and you'll go maybe program, right? And you're like, oh, but then you need to go down. You need to go down even further to even type, or you can go, the biggest thing I like to do is go to newest. Newest will show you the latest cards that have been put up. And a lot of people don't understand, newest sometimes will show cards that you can't see on an auction house. So let's say, for example, a card has been put up for 24 hours, which that happens. If you go to buy now price, buy now shows the most recent sales with the least amount of time remaining. Obviously, if it's up for 24 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, it's not going to show here, right? So you're going to have to go to newest. And then me, even sometimes, depending on the card and things you're going for, I like to filter down to either offense or defense, right? And this is where knowing prices would be effective. Now, look, I can go after that tight end, probably can do a quick flip on him. But at the same time, I told you guys multiple times, with the floor lowering at some point in time, I'm being very sporadic with what I go after or whatnot, right? But that's when it comes to that. And you always got to filter down to the least available denominator, least common denominator, if you want to go down that route, right? Same thing when you go to high overall, same thing with any other overall. That's the simplest thing you want to do. So for example, this Cam Jackson, right, at 77K, it looks good. But then if you go to newest and look at defensive tackles, you can see that Cam Jackson might actually be a good pull or a good buy. In this case, it's not, because there's a bunch up for 77K. So there's 2 up for 77K and then there's 1 up for 80 and 81. I really don't want to do that, right? But if you look at, I tell you guys all the positions, middle linebackers, linemen, and things of that nature, right? Look at Shane Mondon Jr. I can guarantee the next closest one up is 120. If I wanted to, I can make a quick flip. Wouldn't be that much of a coin, right? It'll be like 2 to 3K. Personally, to me, that's not worth it. That's not worth it at the end of the day. Miles Hall, if you get him at the minimum, which 121.8 is the minimum, right? You can do a quick flip on him and probably lazy sell him for 140, make yourself a smooth 4 or 5K. But you got to be mindful that you have to wait these cards to sell. And then also, it's also very, very important to be looking on CFB.fan. If you know, it's just CFB.fan. Most recent sales, see how long these cards are taking to sell. If there's like 20 in an hour, you're like, fantastic, I can probably get this card off. If it's only like 2 or 3 in an hour, that's an L, right? Because the likelihood of your card selling in that hour, when there's only been 2, 3 that sold in the previous hour, is slim to none. Now, another cool feature they've added, I think they started it in this game, I believe, and then Madden adopted it, is that you actually can auction by LTDs. And I've gotten some crazy, when I was sniping the Catalans, right? I was sniping by this filter. And not a lot of people know you can do this. If you go to 95, 94, and you go to LTD, it'll show you all the LTDs available, right? So you know how you go to 94 to 95 free safety, it'll show you all the 94, 95 free safeties. So if I got to go to 94, 95 free safety, right? But then here, there's only 29 up. This is how I was able to get Catalans at 200K, because when I went here, obviously at that point in time, Tyrann Mathieu was way above this price. Catalan has since trumped him, but this is when Catalan was at 200K. Tyrann Mathieu was at 350. I know I didn't want any John Saunders. I was seeing Catalans, and all I had to do was go to newest, and the newest Catalans were being posted up for 200K. And boom, I was getting them. Get it? So you can do the same thing when it comes to, if you want to go to legendary cards, epic cards. Obviously, you can do the same with overalls. This is how I was able to get Reggie Bushes too. When Reggie Bush got down to like 240K, how I was able to cop some Reggie Bushes. So you could do this with any type of card. It's filtering by the newest. and then obviously going to town. Dylan Sampson, we actually copped him today. He's basically nothing just because Reggie Bush does exist, and he's auctionable, so everyone's going to get him. So it's a free 121K at the end of the day, right? So you'd be like, this free safety. If you wanted to, you can cop the newest. Obviously, you don't want to cop because there's other ones that are obviously more expensive, right? But yeah, that's what I mean when I come to filtering down, going to newest. And this is how I essentially snipe. When I'm telling you guys how to invest in cards and what cards to invest in, this is the route I go. This is how I got my Kindle cards. This is how I got my Greg pins. This is how I got my Sage Ryan. Sage Ryan was a little bit different because he was so flooded on the auction house. All I had to do was go to 95, Bow Blitz, strong safety, and he was there. Only thing I can say is when you're auctioning, make sure you go down to the least that you can possibly go to. So if we were looking at Greg pins, right, I would go 92 middle linebacker pin. Or you can just go 92 pin. Sometimes it's better to do it this way, and I'll explain why. Because if you go 92 pin, right? Now let's say we wanted to refresh. You can't just go here and do this. That's not going to refresh it, right? When it comes to that. What you want to do, you can go here, CFB. Because technically it is another filter, but at the same time, it's the same filter. You get what I mean? And then that'll refresh. So if one comes up for a 59th minute, which not always the 59th minute shows, that's how you can do it. And then what you can do is just go on and off. And then it'll continue to refresh and look for the newest one. So this is how you filter out when you're looking for a specific card. Sometimes we're just looking at 94s at around the cheapest training, which is 77. But we got to be mindful. This is going to change, right, as time goes on, because the price floor is going to go down. I believe 92s are at 30K. They're going to go down to like 19K. 93 is going to go down to 30K. 94 is going to go down to 50K. 95 is going to go down to 70K, and you know, so forth and so on. So just be mindful of this. Just wanted to give y'all a little introduction. Like I said, obviously I'm coming from Madden. I've been doing this for quite some time. I do understand from a college football cut standpoint, not a lot of people understand this when it comes to, like I said, investing in terms of short term, long term, and then like I said, when it comes to sniping cards, which obviously you need to do to invest. Now, sometimes you just got to set a price point on a card, and this is where CFB fan is so important to have open, because it can kind of give you a vantage points of, okay, I know I want, for example, last week I wanted Greg pin under 33K. Cool. I know 33K. If I see one on CFB.fan, I can come over here real quickly and cop it. Or I can obviously do that refresh method I just told you, and I can get everything squared away that way. So that's it, boys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. We talked about our methods. We talked about our investing and how many coins we made. And I want to show you guys the binder. We still have so many more coins to be made as well. You've seen the video where I pulled Hines Ward. I still have Hines Ward to sell at this moment. I still have a Brady Cook to sell at this moment. I still have a Catalan to sell at this moment because I kept him on the team. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Sage Ryans to sell. 9 if you count the one in my team. Like I said, we have the Dylan Sampson. We have the Calvin Noy. Like I said, I got rid of all my Greg pins and Kindle cards, which those were absolutely probably my best money makers. And yeah, so in terms of investments of this week, I'm waiting because the packs were so bad during stories of the week and game changers. There wasn't really any investment opportunities, if I'm being completely honest. Tomorrow with National Championship, there might be some budget beats, so I'll definitely take a look at that. And like I said, I'm just going to let it ride for now. We've made our coins. Like I said, I don't really want to go in too crazy because I expect a floor dropping happen in the near future. It wouldn't surprise me if it's this weekend, within the next week. I just see it happening because as well, the season ends in about 12 days. So we got to be mindful of that. But appreciate you boys. Hope you guys did enjoy. Hopefully this helped y'all and kind of broke you down to the method to my madness and the understanding when I'm going through this in my head. And hopefully you can put it to good use moving forward in the future. I'm out. Deuces.